Today is Saturday, and as you know, in Caribbean, Jamaican households, it's Soup Saturdays. Every Saturday you cook your soup, okay? So today on my channel, I'll be showing you how to make a nice beef soup, alright? So first we're going to start, I've already had some water boiling. This is washed in vinegar, lime, you know the jazz, you know you need to wash your meat, right? This is washed and I'm going to boil it off first in a separate pot, because you know when you boil it off, it's got a lot of froth on there and a little bit of fat and all that kind of stuff. You don't really want that in your soup, right? So I'm going to boil this off first, and then I'm going to show you what you need for your actual soup, okay? Alright guys, so now I've put the beef to boil off and get all the fat and the froth off of it. I'm going to show you what you need for boil your soup, right? So this, as I said, it's not red pea soup. This is a pumpkin beef soup. So when you boil pumpkin beef soup, you need pumpkin, right? That's a key ingredient along with the beef, all right? And then I've got some Dasheen here. This is an optional kind of added extra. You can do it if you want. Not everybody likes it. My family like Dasheen, so we put a little bit of Dasheen in there. I've got some yellow yam here. Nice piece of yellow yam, right? I've got some chow here. I don't know what it's called in England, but I've got that. I've got some Irish potato. I've got 3 Irish potatoes that I'm going to put in there. 2 carrots. I've got some scallion, thyme, pepper, garlic, and I've got some corn on the cob. This again is optional, and I've got some pimento seeds back there. The last thing you're gonna need though is your Grace cock soup, right? You can't boil soup without this. Yes, I've got one of the cock soup flavor, and I've got a chicken flavor. All right, you don't necessarily have to use a chicken, but I like both of them. Although it's beef soup, I like both of them. So this is what I'm gonna need, and then I'll show you what else is needed. So I've cut my pumpkin in 3. And what you need to do, as you can see already, I did it off camera. Sorry, I forgot I was videoing. You need to take out the middle of it, right? It's really simple. You literally just want to... You don't want to do it too deep to chop off the whole of the pumpkin. And then you just chop out the middle, and this needs to go in the bin, right? Okay. And then after you're done that, now you need to peel the pumpkin. So peel off this part of the pumpkin. As you can see, you don't need that. And then you'll chop it up. So I'll come back and show you guys. Guys, so as I said, I transferred the pot, so the beef is cooking, right? You don't need to season your beef or anything like that. You just leave it in there so it won't cook. And then I've washed my pumpkin chopped. I've got a garlic clove, my thyme, and some pimento. So literally you just need to transfer it into your pot. You don't want it to splash up, so make sure you just do a little bit at a time, right? Transfer it into your pot, and you make that, because remember, the pumpkin is what's going to give it the nice colour. As I said, some people cook it different, because some people will all put the pot soup in from now. You know the cock soup that I showed you? From now, but me, I won't put it in yet. So there we are. We leave that in there, and then we leave that to go on simmer. So everything's in there, okay? So this is how the pot will look, right? Leave it to boil for it depends on how tough your beef is. Obviously, you judge your meat. I'm probably going to leave this for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then I'll come back and check it and see how tough the beef is, and see what we can do next. So I'll show you guys when I come back. So I'm back again. My beef has been boiling for about an hour or so, so it's time to chop up my fresh produce and get it in the pot. So I'm going to show you guys, in regards to chopping now, with the carrots, you just obviously slice them pretty small. I'm going to just show you guys how I get this done. So if you see, I've already washed all of these. So the Dasheen, the yam, the chow, and the Irish potato, right? So let me show you how I'm gonna cut it. You just literally need to just chop it like that. of my fresh produce, what I'm gonna need. You know, people cut up the carrots different. It's up to you. Some people cut it up fine, some people leave it chopped. So I've just done a variety. The chow is cut up like that. The Irish potato, the yam, and the dasheen. So I'm gonna put these all in a bowl and then transfer them to my pot. Dumpling time. So I'm gonna need my flour now for my dumpling. This is some plain flour. I like to sift my flour because you never know what you're gonna find in there, right? So make sure you sift your flour before. Oh, all right. So you just sift that through. So any little thing in there would obviously be left in the sieve. All right. Always sift your flour. All right. That's it. Right, so this is the amount of flour that I'm going to use. Judge it yourself in regards to how much salt you're going to put. I'm just going to literally put a little bit of salt. That should be enough. Sure. Very important step. Although your hands should always be clean, when you're kneading your flour, please make sure your hands are clean. So rewash your hands again. My hands are dry now. I'm going to go and rewash my hands to get kneading my flour, right? Easiest way I find to make dumplings. So I've washed my hands and come back. I just mix up everything in there. Because remember, you put the salt in there. What you do is you have to do it gradually, okay? So I've got a cup of water here, and you add the water gradually. Okay, fine. So remember, my hands are clean. Make sure your hands are clean, right? So you put a little bit of water, and you just want to get everything in there, okay? And you keep adding water as you go. It's better this way, so at least you don't add too much water, and then your dumpling's too soft, right? Okay. And you keep adding as you go. Okay, so I've gradually added the water, and this is where my my dumpling is. So this is the notion that you want to have when you're kneading the flour, just to make sure. Yeah. So you just knead and knead. So what I usually do is after I finish kneading, I put the flour to one side for a little while. So you can put like a cling film or whatever you want over there. Put it there for a little while, and then when you're ready to make your dumpling, your flour's good to go. All right. So let's see where my soup reached. It's been about an hour and a half now. I still haven't put in the fresh produce, although I've cut them up. So the pumpkin, as you can see, is getting the colour because the pumpkin mashed out now. It's been boiling for a while. The beef is still in there, the pimento. See, some pumpkin's still in there, but most of it's mashed out now. So in about, let's say, another 10-15 minutes, I'm going to put in the rest of the dasheen and the yam and stuff like that. Super bubble, super bubble. So look now, you can see it's definitely got the pumpkin-y colour. Even without the cock soup yet. So remember, I did cut up the whole of my yam and everything like that. So I'm gonna place them in. You see, so I got the yam and the chow there. Literally, some people drop it in, but I don't want no splashback. So just take my time and put it in there, and then I cover back my soup and make that go and boil. Not long after then, what I will do though is I'm gonna start seasoning up my pot. See. I don't want the water in there from what I've washed, so this is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, you get the gist. You just drop it in your soup and keep mixing, keep mixing. Make sure that your meat is very soft at this point, because the rest of these stuff don't take too long to cook, and you don't want to put it in and then the meat takes long to cook and the one of this mash out, and I don't know what your soup will come like, and then you're gonna message me and ask me, well, you said to do this, you're gonna follow what I say. Alright, so see there, I've put all of my ingredients in, and I just give it a nice little mix and put the cover back on and make it go and simmer. Alright, so you see how the pot look nice and a bubble? Remember now, I've put all of my stuff inside. So I've got my dasheen, my yam, my carrot, my chow, I've got everything in there. So you can see how it's bubbling up. It's been cooking for about 20 minutes since I've put all of that in there. So now I'm going to wash my hand. I'm going to knead my dumpling. I'm going to also put in my, what do you call it there? My corn on the cob at the same time. So wash your hand. Remember, clean hands when you're dealing with dumplings. So wash your hand and then boom. Alright, so you can see how my soup is bubbling up. It looks so, it literally smells so good. So good. So I chopped my corn in about 3. So I'm going to pop my corn in there, rinse them off as well. Make sure you wash off your corn before you put the corn in there. And now, oh, that splashed up a little bit. And now I am going, sorry, I like to clean as I go along. I don't want that to be, okay, so I'm going to show you how I make my dumpling. People make them differently. I'm going to make some round and some long. So here, I've peeled off peas. You literally just need to roll it right? And then you put it in there, it's fine. And then you place it inside there. Okay, so you can make a variety, a bit of those and a bit of the other ones. I'm gonna make one of the other one now, and I don't really necessarily love big dumpling in my soup. I like. Alright, so here's some that I've pre-railed. So as you can see, you just kind of flat them down with your hand middle and shape them a little bit, and then boom. Yeah? Alright. And then you just flat out, shape them a little bit, and then put them in. Okay? Everything's in my soup. So I've got my dumplings in there, my corns in there now. Can you see? Wah! Wah! Can you see? So I've just literally put the lid back on now and make that go on simmer for another little while. Okay. So I've put in my dumplings and all that kind of good stuff. I'm gonna put a little bit of black pepper to start seasoning up my pot now, right? So make sure when you put stuff in, because I've got such a big pot of soup, I need to mix up to make sure everything's getting, you know. I might put a little bit more of that, but let's see how it is once I put the rest of my seasonings inside. Okay, so I've got a half a cock soup here. Remember I showed you guys before, so you just want to, don't worry if it's like that a little bit cakey, it will mash out by the time it goes in the soup. Okay, so see there again, just mix that around. Okay, and then I'm gonna put some chicken. Don't worry about it if it's chicken, trust me. I've been doing this for a long time, I know what I'm doing. So the chicken soup will be perfect for it. So I'm gonna put all of the chicken soup in there. Alright, so then again you just, you know, give it a nice flavour. You see the cock soup, it gives it a nice yellow flavour, but my soup was already yellow from the pumpkin. Alright. See then, I'm just doing that because I don't want it to stick to the bottom. And here I have, I'm going to season it now with this seasoning. So I have a hot pepper, I have some thyme and some scallion, right? So you just want to kind of just literally put that all in. There's no special movements or nothing like that for that. You just put that all in there, mix that up, and then you put your pepper on the top. You don't need to burst the pepper yet. If there's kids going to eat, you can burst the pepper once you share out the kids' food. You don't need to burst it yet. It will still give it flavour. See how that look? Yeah. Soup soon done. Alright. And then you just pop the pepper on the top there and cover back your pot and make that. Alright, so if you remember in the beginning of the video, when I was first boiling the water, I did add some pimento, I did add some garlic, and I did add some thyme. Just now when I was seasoning my pot, I added a little bit more of it, right? You don't need to necessarily go on with the one you put all-purpose and the chicken seasoning, all of that kind of stuff. It's to taste. You can put a little bit, but don't put too much because it will become really salty. Very salty, because remember the cock soup already have the seasoning in there. And another thing, be careful when you're mixing your pot because the pepper will burst in there. Okay, so when you're mixing it, just some people even take out the pepper when they're mixing it and then put back in the pepper when they're done. Okay? Yeah, you watch there. Soup look nice. Okay. Alright, so I've got my one per dumpling. Look, my corn. Some meat, some yam. Yeah, more meat, yam, Irish. Yeah, meat soon. Soup soon done. Yeah. Right. Yes. The dumplings usually float to the top when they're cooked. Fun fact. Yeah. There you have it, my beef and pumpkin soup.